first day, the eyes of terrifying beasts I had slaughtered fell out of a hole in my backpack. I cried as I heard them roll with intent down a drain pipe. They were my first great loss, my treasure, consumed by the dirty water. That night, I lay awake, looking at the ceiling. It was an entrance to the murky bottom of Leicester's Creek, a place I dared not tread. Something dark lurked there, something without a body or a head. I closed my eyes and reached out my hands, and shaking, gathered them up, every single member. My Aggies, Bots, Lutzes, Snowflakes, Lollies, Conkies, Swirls, Granites, Planets, Moons, Sulfides, Bird cages, clay pots, bloodsuckers, Olympics, spearmints, and rainbows. We were in that moment reunited, and in the next eternally separated. Until that event, I had thought I was fearless. As I drifted, I thought to myself I had learned my lesson. You must keep precious things safe. When I fell asleep, I was taken into a dream so thick and deep and strange. I awoke, and still night I switched on my lamp and took a pen and wrote the dream down. It was automatic, and this is exactly what I wrote.
I'm visiting a college where I'm a guest speaker. I'm on the way to the lecture room where I see the best friend from my youth, now a lecturer himself. He's wearing a large turquoise-coloured woolen jumper. I stop at a stationery shop and purchase a large rainbow-coloured whale pencil case. The shop attendant is Belzer, a kid from my high school. Although I've grown older, he has remained the same age. Although we were not close in high school, we greet each other fondly. At the lecture room, everyone in attendance must sit in a wheelchair and wheel themselves inside the room. I notice that some men are wearing pointy plastic covers over their feet. I wheel myself inside the room, which is small and cramped, and see that there is a smashed pumpkin sitting on the front desk. The pumpkin guts and seeds and pulp are everywhere. I then realise I have accidentally wheeled myself to the front of the class. My best friend sees me and I move to shake his hand. He stops me and tells me he has something to give me. He opens a large door and there is a large object wrapped in a white tarp. He tells me he planned to track me down so he could give me this gift. I then recognise that we are both aged 46. Then, someone throws an object from the back of the hall where I see there are now 2 old people covered in flies and pumpkin seeds. They have been zombified. Somebody says to get away from them. The old zombified man begins undoing his trousers, and I run from the lecture room, leaving behind my wheelchair and my best friend. I continue to run and an alarm sounds. The college is about to slide down the hill. I smash a desk through a plastic window pane and climb through into a small room. Again, I smash a desk through a window and climb through, outside onto the hill. The college rolls down the hill, crushing students lazing about on the grounds. The college keeps rolling down the hill and someone asks me, if it is gone, have we survived? But then it rolls over us, killing us instantly.
On the second day, when I awoke, I realised that I had in the night lost all of my baby teeth. In their place were straight, strong pegs, built to last. I was excited, for by my pillow was a small pile of shiny coins. I decided I would leave the house without telling my mother. I wanted to spend my hard-earned cash my way and without her pestering me. And after all, I was on a quest. I was going to find, then buy a new treasure. I wandered through the overgrown neighbourhood. It was a Saturday, so people were about. I stopped at a garage sale and picked my way through the junk. There was nothing here for a boy who wanted something so special that it would make him happy, even if he was starting to feel glum. I thought I would have to return home empty-handed. But then I heard yelps, and I spied 3 dirty kids throwing rocks at a puppy. They were down near Lester's Creek. Then I heard a loud sound, a noise that made those kids flee. It was only when the puppy was safe in my arms, giving me tender little licks, that I realised the noise had come from me. It took me a long time to walk home. I held Larry for part of the way, and for the rest he wandered ahead. He knew the way home. When I got there, the house looked different. Larry was now an old man of a dog, 70 in dog years, and the woman who greeted me at the door I recognised as my wife. I realised I had become a man. She patted the dog and dragged me to bed. She breathed into my ear, "Let's make a baby," as the thunder applauded our decision. That night, a troubling riddle was posed. On the 3rd day, Alice left the house to do a spot of shopping and left me to look after Isaac. He was a good boy. I was always amazed and surprised by his understanding. His recurring night terrors. We're still asleep. He would ask for chocolate. Isaac was as chipper as normal. He laughed and played in the backyard with Larry. It was a usual Sunday morning. I drank instant coffee and read the paper. Then the sky shifted and became dark. Spots began to tap the window, and it was then the riddle was answered. Rain. I went to the back door to call Isaac into the house, but the backyard was quiet, empty. His toy trucks were strewn down by the fence. Silence. For a brief moment I was calm. My mind was sound. Then I threw up on the spot. Dark liquid surfacing. The instant coffee now a black stain on the grass. I approached the fence. I looked over it. Lester's Creek was lurking back. It wove its way through the underbrush, through the deep scrub. It shot up my veins. How had it gone unnoticed? I had thought I had escaped. But I'm not so stupid. Distances don't always separate you from the things you dread. Where was my dog? Where was my boy? There was a time he tried to breathe underwater in the bathtub. He had told me through tears that he knew how to do it. He had a method. Take a mouthful of water, then push it out of your mouth, then swallow. If I hadn't returned from the kitchen in time, his lungs would have filled with soapy water. Was he now forced to use this underwater breathing method? Did something pull him down? Was something sitting on his chest? I cleared my throat to call his name. The forest was a dense and dark and deep maze. What had taken Isaac's hand? Lester's Creek from one end back to the beginning. I would never venture past the point where the grass became dead. I stumbled out the heavy gate, lost at the shopping centre as a 5-year-old. There was a kind woman who took my hand, who wiped away my tears, who told me it would be okay, that we would find my mother. In an hour it would be black. I called Isaac's name. I was numb. A growing fever took hold of me.